Up in the morning edition, the Bahamas signs an IDB agreement. Good news for Stanyard Creek, a new bridge is coming. And it's Autism Month. We take a look inside this condition. Make your day amazing. Good morning, everyone. I'm LaDawn Davis, and this is the Morning Edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us. Let's take a look at today's weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Good morning, Basil.
Good morning, LaDawn. I was at this tower camp showing some patchy clouds, but those clouds will thicken up as we get into the afternoon hours ahead of a cold front that's heading our way. All the details coming up late in the newscast. But right now we go to our satellite picture. You can see the advancing clouds ahead of that front. The front boundary right now approaching Lake Okeechobee, and that will get into the northwest Bahamas late tonight and during the early morning of Wednesday. Outside of our studios, mostly cloudy, temperature 75 degrees, relative humidity 83%, southerly winds at 8 miles per hour, the barometric pressure 1,015.7 millibars, that's 29.99 inches, and it is rising. Your temperatures around the islands this morning, 73s in Marsh Harbor, Abaco, Grand Toll Key, and Freeport in the Berry Islands, 77 in Allenstown, Bimini, Harper Island, 76 in Roxanne, Eleuthera, Outer Sound Island, Stanyard Key in Exuma Chain, Camp Space out Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. More 72s in San Salvador and Rum Key, Georgetown, Exuma 76 as well, 76 in Ragged Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Acklands, Matthewtown in Agua 78, and the Turks and Caicos Islands 78 degrees. Your boating forecast for today in the northwestern islands, southeast to south winds 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. The high tide, that will take place at 10:17 this morning. Low tide 4:23 in the afternoon for the central Bahamas. Southeast winds 10 to 15, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. And for the southeast Bahamas, southeast winds a little stiffer, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet. That's going to do it for your first look at weather the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Thanks a lot, Basil. Meanwhile, Jiminy DeSwain is standing by with the Bahamas First traffic report.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Good morning, LaDawn, and good morning, Bahamas. We're coming to you live from Blue Hill Road and the Independence Highway. Traffic has been a steady flow. A lot of traffic coming from either side, as you can see from our drone shot. A lot is happening here already for the morning. But if you're making your morning commute, we want you to do it safely. Now, to talk about some of the issues that traffic police encounter over the course of their day, or whether there are any areas of concern that you as motorists should be mindful of this morning, is, of course, Corporal Decory Barr of the Police Traffic Division. Good morning, Corporal Barr.
Good morning, Jiminy. Good morning, Bahamas.
Now, are there any accidents or areas of concern that motorists need to be mindful of this morning as they make their morning commute?
At this time, we have no outstanding accidents or any congestions to report other than at the junction or the corridor of Ross Corner, where there's some road works that has been going on since earlier or late last week. Those road works are between, like I said, East Street and Ross Corner and West Avenue, which is on the eastern side near to Superwash. We'd advise motorists to, if possible, stay away from that area or find another route. What we find happening is that persons still tend to use these corridors while the roadworks are going on, and it slows the workers up, causing somewhat of a delay, causing them to be in that area a bit longer than they anticipate, and the road to be shut down a bit longer.
So if you don't need to be in that area, if you have to go in that area, I guess you would need to give yourself some ample time. Or if you could, now that you know, you could definitely just avoid the area altogether. Yes. Now, one of the other areas of concern I see of note is that persons seem not to have any respect for any emergency vehicles, whether it's yourself, a traffic officer, the fire engine, sometimes even ambulances. They seem not to want to pull over when they're asked to do so. Is there a fine, or can they be ticketed for that?
Yes, failing to pull left for the siren or bell, or pull to the side because it may not be on a street where you could pull left. It may be on a highway or somewhere where you have to force yourself to the right. Failing to pull to the side for a siren or bell is a ticketed offense. We'd advise persons not to wonder or try to figure out if that there's really an emergency going on, but just respect the siren or bell and what it is being used for.
Well, thank you so much, Corporal Decory Bar of the Police Traffic Division. Again, you want to steer clear of the Ross Corner area. Some roadworks still continuing there. And also, if you see any emergency vehicles, you want to do what you need to do and pull out of the way. Back to you in studio, LaDawn.
Thanks a lot, Jim. Anita, now on to our top story this morning. The government signing two multi-million-dollar loans yesterday, with the International Development Bank. The loans are designed to modernize public services and the government while providing contingency funds in the aftermath of a natural disaster. The agreement was signed by Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Peter Turnquest, and President of the Inter-American Development Bank, Luis Moreno. The loans include the $30 million government digital transformation loan and the $100 million contingent loan for natural disasters. Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis, said the loans will also improve the ease of doing business in this country while modernizing government procedures and services.
Our overall goals must be to make government more efficient, more effective, and more citizen and client-driven. We will significantly improve the ease of doing business and enhance productivity throughout our expanding economy, including for small business owners who are often frustrated by online processes and government services. Government services will be made easily available online to the residents of all our major islands.
The Prime Minister said the loan will also pave the way for services to be upgraded at the Police Department, Road Traffic, NIB, and the Passport Office.
We are currently designing a pilot which will involve renewals of passports and driver's license and the verification of birth certificates, affidavits, and police certificates. Once fully implemented, Bahamians should be able to fully and securely apply online for these services without physically providing birth certificates, marriage certificates, and police certificates. Yes, that means no more long lines at the passport office.
A $5 million investment now on the way for residents of Stanyard Creek, Andros, with the government laying out plans to build an environmentally friendly new bridge in that community. The announcement coming in from Minister of Works, the Honorable Desmond Bannister, during a town hall meeting held at the Stanyard Creek Primary School on Monday. Minister Bannister says following a fact-finding visit last year, the government is convinced that a new bridge equates to new economic growth for the humble community. But with Andros having a number of bridges, Minister Bannister says Stanyard Creek is just a start, as there are some long-standing concerns regarding its construction.
In Andros, I was here last year. There's some serious infrastructural issues. There's the bridge in Fresh Creek, which is an old, antiquated bridge that could be very dangerous. There's a bridge in Stafford Creek that could also be dangerous. All of those bridges need to be replaced, essentially. The first one that we're going to be replacing is the bridge in Stanyard Creek. And one of the reasons we're going to do that first is because that has some serious environmental challenges.
Member of Parliament for the North Andros District, Carlton Boleg, says the construction proposal is an initiative he has been anxiously waiting for and caps on a promise made to residents at the start of his term as the elected representative for that area.
These are the days I was looking forward to a long time ago, when you can actually see the care now that is going to be put on the island, especially when it comes down to dealing with the basic necessity as far as a bridge is concerned to get people back and forth.
Officials from the Bahamas Power and Light Company says its focus is always on ensuring sufficient capacity for generation, particularly as we get closer to the summer months. Chairman Dr. Donovan Moxey says plans are now underway to ensure that the lights remains on, and that will mean increasing capacity. This is what he had to say on the issue.
We do have summer plans, and where we are right now, there's several generation assets that we're looking to make sure that we maintain appropriately so that we can be ready for the summer. We're also looking at bringing in some additional rental generation to cover the needs in the summer. So from our perspective, we're doing everything that we can in order to prepare for the load that we require to deliver during the summer months.
Members of the Bahamas National Arts Festival are on the island of Abaco this week, searching for the nation's best and brightest in the arts. The Bahamas National Arts Festival promotes the creativity of performing arts within the local school system. Assistant Administrator for the festival, Melissa Maynard Allen, says the organizers are thrilled to explore the vast pool of talent within the Abaco community.
Oh, Abaco is going to be amazing. We are going over to Hopetown, to the Hopetown Primary School. Wednesday, of course, we're going to meet to the hall where all of the schools will be adjudicated, and it gives us an interaction, whereas the students can actually see other students performing. We wouldn't have to be going to each school within the island. So that camaraderie, that coming together, it actually shows them, and they learn from one another by all of the schools coming together.
Stay close, it's Autism Awareness Month. We are back with that and more on the other side of the break.
Fidelity has the tools you need to make getting out of debt simple. Our debt consolidation loans will help you reduce your monthly payments with a built-in savings plan that earns 5% interest. Fidelity even gives you a financial coach to help you stay on track. Even our credit cards earn reward points that can be used for free travel, hotel stays, Rubis Gas, John Bull, car rentals, and shopping. No need to fall victim to sweet talk. Tell those other banks to simply walk the talk. Call Fidelity today and get the help you really need with a real debt consolidation loan. Fidelity, we're good for you.
I'm here at the Dixon Hill Lighthouse on San Salvador to let you know that marine protected areas make dollars and cents. A well-designed and managed network of protected areas can generate income for nearby communities. From MPA managers to lodges to eco-tours, there is money to be made.
Healthy marine ecosystems help to protect our islands from climate change and other impacts that we cannot control. Healthy coral reefs help to break down big waves, and mangroves absorb storm surge and help to protect our coastline.
Older and larger fish tend to carry more and healthier eggs than younger fish. Fish replenishment areas will allow fish to grow bigger and ensure that we have more fish now and in the future.
In a replenishment area, fish are free to grow and reproduce. As their populations increase, more fish will spill over into other areas where fishermen can increase their catch and their income.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of marine protected areas on my island.
I support the establishment of a marine protected area on my island, and you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
And you should too.
See the future with Bahamas Protected.
Welcome back to the Morning Edition. Her Excellency, the Most Honorable Dame Marguerite Penling, Governor General, made an official visit to the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute, or BAMSI, in North Andros on Friday of last week, where she viewed crops and livestock being produced right here in the Bahamas. During a visit, Dame Marguerite was greeted by Carlton Bowleg, Parliamentary Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, and Tennyson Wells, Chairman and President of the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute. The Governor General was entertained with a musical performance by BAMSI's Glee Club. She toured the facility and brought remarks along with Tennyson Wells and Carlton Bowleg. It's Autism Awareness Month, and the parents of a 4-year-old boy living with the disease is sharing his condition, the signs of autism, its challenges, treatments, and what you can do to acquire early intervention. Here's the story. Young couple Jatana and Ryan Holbert have been married for 5 years. 4 of those years have been spent raising their functional, autistic, and energetic son Jatan, who was diagnosed with autism at 2 years old. While his father Ryan was in denial, his mother Jatana says her gut feeling told her that her son was experiencing developmental and speech issues.
I was a bit like, he might just be slow to talk, like a lot of the children are.
I knew that Jatan probably was autistic based on certain things that he was displaying. Jatan's my first child. I read a lot. And I basically read information to make sure he was meeting certain developmental cues. At 2 years old, if you're not saying, I think it's between 3 to 5 words, then there's a possibility that there's some type of developmental issue.
Jatan has a 70% chance of overcoming his verbal challenges now that the issues are being addressed. The Holberts later gave us an update on their son's current condition.
And we found out that Jatan also has ADHD. That's attention deficit hyper disorder. So Jatan is like bouncing off the walls. We already eat relatively healthy. We already fed him relatively healthy. I have some health issues. I did not want my child to have health issues, so when he was born, and he was a baby, I made it known. No sweets, no this, no that. He ate different.
Both parents who are civil servants say treatments for their autistic son is extremely expensive. With only 3 speech therapists in this country, the Holberts agree that more recruiting must be done to facilitate children with special needs.
Try their best, but if I've got 1,500 children that need therapists, and I've only got 2 speech therapists that we deal with, and we only have 2 occupational therapists that we deal with, then that waiting list then becomes longer and longer, country completely. And you have parents that do that.
The B2 3 hours, 6 hours of intensive therapy. That's 3-hour sessions at CR's Institute. You're talking about like $1,400 and something per month for Jatan. Us that have not been established. We've not bought our first home yet. We're still in the process of trying to save, take care of day-to-day expenses, deal with whatever doctor's appointments for Jatan, and make sure that we can afford to pay for his therapy.
The Holberts credits Reach Bahamas for welcoming them with open arms and for their assistance in meeting their demands. Jatan is now one of 11 students currently enrolled at the Willard Patton School. It's Occupational Therapy Month, and just like physical and emotional therapy, someone needs it. Occupational therapists Philippa Roll and Cassandra Adderley joins us this morning from the Sandilands Rehabilitation Center. Ladies, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you for having me.
So for those of us who may not know, what is occupational therapy?
Occupational therapy is the therapeutic use of everyday life activities in order for persons to be able to function as well as possible in society.
And what are some of the therapy, I guess, given for a person?
Some of the things that we would focus on is if a person has decreased self-care skills, decreased motor skills due to illness or injury. Sometimes persons have difficulties managing their time, managing funds, so we will help them with that.
And I know the Holberts, in that autism report, they said that there's only 2 occupational therapists in the country. How many are there?
Well, that they deal with, but currently we have 10 occupational therapists registered with the Health Professions Council.
And talk to me about, I guess, some of the demands that you guys meet on a daily basis.
So at Sandilands Rehab, there's actually only 2 occupational therapists there, and we have over 350 beds. So you can imagine having to do evaluations, treatment plans for all of those individuals. And then around the country, we have over 350,000 in our population, and so the demand is great.
And Cassandra, talk to me about some of the activities planned for Occupational Therapy Month.
In Occupational Therapy Month, we just had our opening ceremony yesterday. Wednesday, we have a speech competition at the New Dimension Hope Church Auditorium on Joe Franton Road, 10 a.m. This will be a chance for school children to come out and participate and learn about occupational therapy as in their quest to find a road that they're going to go on to their activities and their job preference. So it's going to be a time that they're going to come out and learn much more about the field that's necessarily needed, but is not known to everybody.
Any new initiatives occupational therapists will be embarking on, I guess, later on this year?
What we're going to try to do is we're actually going to put out our Occupational Therapy Association of the Bahamas, and that's a way for us to also market our profession.
Okay, Ms. Rowe, Ms. Adderley, thank you ladies for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and best of luck to you guys on Occupational Therapist Month.
Thanks for having us.
So Charles, what's coming up in sports this morning?
Coming up in sports, LaDawn, it was a big night over there at the AF Alley Gym, and also some champions crowned in private school soccer. Stay tuned for that.
As the islands of the Bahamas continues to promote its flyaway campaign, many private aviators are looking to do just that. This is why Bahamas Ministry of Tourism and Aviation officials heavily promoted the destination at the 45th Annual Sun and Fun International Fly-In and Expo from April 1st through 7th in Lakeland, Florida. The Expo, which is the second largest aviation show in the world, attracts more than 200,000 pilots and aviation enthusiasts.
This is a natural spot for the Ministry of Tourism to come and attract private aviators to come to the Bahamas. We have 20 ports of entry. We have 60 different airstrips they can go. So we embody island hopping. So it's an easy sell. They are really fascinated about coming to the Bahamas.
Private aviation is actually over a $300 million business for the islands of the Bahamas. And Florida is actually the #1 market for the Bahamas for private aviators. It's not just Nassau and Grand Bahama, it's about throughout the island to the Bahamas. So it's really important that we are here and that we are representing the Bahamas.
The Islands of the Bahamas has been a participant in Sun and Fun for over 2 decades and has forged a partnership with the event's organizers.
Our goal is to build that bridge, working with the Bahamas to make sure that we know all there is to know about how to navigate through there, working with customs, and making the experience enjoyable and easy for all of our aviation friends.
Officials are now preparing to promote the Islands of the Bahamas this summer at Oshkosh Air Show, the largest aviation show in the world. I'm Kendia Smith, and this is Tourism Today.
Good morning once again. The private schools, that's the BAISS Soccer Championships kicking yesterday at the Roscoe Davies Field. Let's start off with the junior girls action with the Comets of Queens College kicking against the Big Red Machine of Sauk. Comets would get the best of Sauk thanks to strong play from their goalie as they cruise to a 3-0 win.
The game was tough. We just after the first goal, we just had to keep up the intensity because we really played lower than expected in the first half, and the second half was much better.
Well, honestly, we take it as not the team captain. We're all one player. We listen to each other and get the job done.
For the last 3 years, we actually beat SAC in the finals, and I feel like we had something to prove, so it really feels good.
We had a tough season. Can't really say it was that hard, but we've been practicing a lot, and I'm really happy.
Now to the senior boys, which pitted the Laifiki Dragons and the Aces of Aquinas. It was the Dragons roaring as the Aces didn't play their cards right and fell 3-1.
I think we played very well, first of all, so I have to give it to my team, and I scored a pretty good goal, so I'll give it to myself too, but we played good and I'm happy that we won. Well, it's our second year here, and last year we lost, but we had to come back and win this year, and we worked hard this year because we knew we had a chance from last year, and we worked hard and we got the win.
I feel like the big players and everybody stepped up to the occasion. We were all ready for this match for the entire week after beating St. John's. So I feel like we were all ready for this match and we were all really hyped to go into this game.
Well, it came down to a decisive Game 7 to decide the champs in the New Providence Basketball Association Division 2. And from the get-go, jump ball, it was all the defending champs playing on a mission. That was the Breezes High Flyers as they led your Essential Food Store Giants 27-19 after 1 and increased their lead to 46-33 at the break. Giants able to make somewhat of a run in the third but still trailed 62-55. And in the fourth, the Flyers cruised to another title, 91-78, the final score. Breezes led by as many as 19 at one point. Got 22 points from the bench and worked for 44 in the paint and had 20 points off turnovers. Shanton Pratt led all scorers with 29. Dale Davis 19 and Brendan Stubbs had 17. For the Giants, it was Brandon Strong with 21, Adrian Thompson 14, and Kamado Seymour had 10 points, 12 boards. The Flyers now move on along with the Division I champs, the Commonwealth Bank Giants, to represent the league in the Bahamas Basketball Federation's Bonnie Lavardi round-robin tournament that tips off Thursday right back there at the AF Ali Gym. Cat Island Fishing Festival also featured the juniors. They were able to get their hands dirty as well with some competitions like the scaling and cleaning the fish, which was won by Lisa Johnson, beating all the boys.
My mother mostly good. She used to like fish, and she good at cleaning fish.
Do you do it often?
Fishing? Yes, sir. A lot.
When you see you was getting advantage of them and some of these boys who wasn't able to clean the fish, what was going through your mind?
I don't know, cause like I expected Gio to win, and I don't even know. That's just shock. I win.
You beat the boys because normally the boys will beat you cleaning the fish, but the girls will beat you cooking the fish.
I feel good because I thought he's gonna win, and I get bragging right, so that's good.
In the most fish caught, the boys able to win this one. The hand roll found the right drop.
It was fun because I wanted to see who my competition really was in my category, and I like that.
How many fish did you catch?
I got 7 fish today.
How long were you out there?
I was out there about 3 hours.
Fish were biting, or you had to wake your way up the creek?
I had to work my way up because tide was low as well, so yeah.
Real island life, I wish all the kids right here in New Providence can experience what those kids go through on the island. That's going to do it for sports. Thanks for watching.
They come from around the Caribbean to test their athletic skills and see who will carry home gold. Don't miss the excitement of Carifta 2019, April 20th through 22nd from the Cayman Islands. Make sure your business gets in on the excitement with a ZNS advertising package tailored just for you. Call us at 502-3800 or 3801 and get in on the region's biggest track and field event.
In our final look at weather, we have a cold front heading our way, and it is coming with some heavy showers and thunderstorms, particularly in the northeastern sector of that frontal boundary as it pushes towards the south and east, particularly Grand Bahama, Abaco, and the Bimini's. They could experience some very heavy showers and thunderstorms late tonight going into the early morning hours. And then here in the capital, we'll get some of those showers as well. Behind that, not much of a temperature change, but certainly there will be those heavy showers developing. Behind that, some cloudy periods will continue right into Thursday before drying out ahead of the weekend. Partly sunny with a moderate breeze today. High temperature around 82 degrees. Those showers will be developing very late in the afternoon hours. And then tonight we're looking at cloudy with showers and thunderstorms developing. 70 degrees for your low temperature. And the extended weather forecast, the showers, as we tell you, will continue through Wednesday. Cloudy on Thursday, and then come Friday, lots of sunshine developing. That will take us into the weekend in the early part of next week. But look at those daytime temperatures. Despite that front, temperatures will remain in the low to mid-80s. LaDawn?
Thanks a lot, Basil, and that does it for the morning edition. Thank you so much for waking up with us once again. I'm LaDawn Davis. See you right back here tomorrow morning.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.